Hi, this is Kimberly Rorty, your business advisor and supply chain expert, and welcome to my podcast. Let me remind you who this is. Not Brian's, mine. My Moody's. Welcome to
It's
my
all you.
podcast and my guest, Brian.
This is all you. I just wanted to talk about my Friday caddy outfit that I wore for you, because I know that's what you're thinking. As soon as I came on, you're like, "Why do you have a golf hat and a bright white
Oh,
shirt?"
like,
And
were you in Florida? I thought that's how you dress down there.
yeah, it is a little bit. We do pinks and yeah, and pastels
And pastels and a
and
lot of white.
whites and clean.
Yeah.
It's gotta be clean, fresh.
Very clean, fresh. Yep. So I thought it was just a regional thing. I wasn't going to give you crap about it.
It's okay.
Uh, but welcome back for episode 2 of Pack It Up, Pack It In. We're about to
Yeah.
begin podcast about everything.
And I tried to steer you in like 20 ways this week, and you pushed
I was
back, and
like,
I love it, and I
we're
can't wait
set.
to talk about.
This is it.
Yeah,
But
and
we're talking
where are we going with
today.
this today?
So you want to talk to us a little bit about the golden rule, right?
The
And
golden
how we
mean,
apply
the
that.
golden mean. So
Golden mean.
so
That's
the
what it was.
golden rule is a good one too. That's what
Also a
our
good
parents
one,
taught us probably. Also a good one, right from the Bible. We can't bash it. The golden rule was what? Treat others like
as you
treat
would like to be
like
treated. Yeah.
yes.
That's also true.
Um, the golden mean is something that it's a little bit of a rabbit hole, but not really. Western thought. I'm gonna just read it. I'm gonna read you the description because I have it pulled up, and then we're
Tell
gonna
me.
apply it back to supply chain. So a concept central to Aristotelian ethics, Aristotle. It refers
Okay.
to the desirable middle ground between two extremes.
Yep.
And I struggle with those extremes, right? Maybe we all
Oh,
don't.
we all
One
do.
of excess and the other of deficiency. It
Yep.
suggests that virtue lies in finding this balance in our actions and behaviors rather than leaning towards either end of a spectrum. And then the one thing that was interesting, virtue as a mean, Aristotle believed that virtues such as courage, generosity, temperance are not simply the absence of vices, but rather the result of finding the right balance between two opposing vices. And then the
Agreed.
last thought is the golden mean is not a rigid midpoint. People don't know means and averages, right? But it's not
Right.
rigid. It's a nuanced understanding of what constitutes an appropriate response in a given situation. So that is the topic as it pertains to supply chain.
Supply chain. But
Yeah.
before I go there, because you brought this philosophical woo-woo stuff to the table, we're gonna have to talk about this for a minute because you
Yeah.
just talk about like we as humans do kind of tend to swing between extremes.
Mm-hmm.
The golden mean is very similar to the middle path
Yep.
in Buddhist and Zen philosophy, which is
Okay.
that finding that sort of middle ground between total suffering and total excess, right? Which is
As
what
a
God found all
virtue, right.
as a virtue, right?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta leave that in because yeah, it's a virtuous path in a way, but it's so true too. So I was even just thinking today. I know we want to talk about supply chain, and we will, but it's just all those times when I'm like, don't send the email. Wait a day. How do you respond to things? How do you make this? You know what I mean? For me,
Yeah.
how do you make decisions for a 3PL? Like so for instance, getting into the supply chain side of it. I was just meeting with a brand this week in LA for Barrett, and he's with another provider. We won't mention names, but um, very a tech solution. But his feedback was in essence, they're not a 3PL. Almost in essence, like it was like like there's a good product, no people, or no 3PL, no,
Right. It's all
and it was just
tech.
like,
Right.
yeah, or like, and then you've been to places where like you visit a great third party provider, a supply chain company with amazing people and no tech.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where I kind of wanted to go with this, is this
Yeah.
idea that as companies, as a 3PL, who do you want to be? What service do you want to provide? What do you want to be known for? Again, finding this golden mean, I think, is important. Is what
Yes.
resonates to brands. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you've been in the space twice as long as I have.
Oh,
How did Amazon handle? Not twice as
okay.
long.
First of all, we didn't have to go there. Okay. I'm not the one living in Florida.
That was my
I'm
compliment. I just
wearing
didn't.
all
Yeah.
white. Okay.
You have
Thanks
better
for
experience than I do. Let me rephrase it. What you worked at the largest company in the world, the most solvent company
yes.
on the planet. How did they
Yes.
approach this idea? Because they're extremes, right? I mean, Amazon's known
Yeah.
for extremes. I doubt that they were as extreme as people think.
No, they
Is that true?
weren't. No, it's very true. And you actually bring up a really good point, and it shows up in all different ways as we talk about things. And I think this philosophy shows up in a lot of different the Amazon attributes, a lot of ways that you and I both do business.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, Amazon made bold bets, but
Right.
they never went all in. And
Okay.
I think
That's
that's kind of what
interesting.
you're talking about a little
That's it.
bit in that they didn't go for extremes, right? I've been, as you know, I've been interviewing a lot of the early Amazon innovators and
You got
architects.
a rock star list of people that,
Yeah, and the story is always very interesting. It's always this: they hired one person
right.
for a completely, we're not sure about it. We're going to give you a year to figure it out, and then they went. Like so, that
Well,
kept them
huge
from
people,
doing.
by the way, like huge people oriented thing. Like they
Right.
basically did. I mean, from what I understand, and people I've worked with at Amazon, everybody's smart. They
Oh,
basically, they basically hire. I know your IQ, Kim. Like it's high. You know what I mean? Like they basically hire people who are really smart, who work
yeah,
hard, and will figure shit out.
yeah. But their
Is that right?
philosophy was this, like, they didn't go to your point, like, they didn't go to extremes. They weren't like, "We're gonna invest 500 people in this
Yeah.
thing." They were like, "We're
Right.
gonna test it and see
Right.
how it goes, and then we'll invest as it grows."
Did they talk
So
about like this idea of small teams and how Steve Jobs is always talking about small teams, 3 or 4 people get the most done. Like, did you see that happen a lot?
yeah, we had the pizza teams.
Yeah, that's golden mean.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like all
Right.
of this stuff was golden mean. Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, there was all. We don't invest big one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think this is also very similar to the test and learn philosophy, right?
Okay.
So small steps, test, learn, test, learn, test, learn,
Yeah.
versus build, 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 and then learn. Right? That's
Right.
another extreme you see people swinging.
What did you in terms of their flex? And I was just thinking in terms of Amazon because that's your experience. Like even their solution, it makes me laugh a little bit inside when I see people commenting on like tech as it pertains to Amazon. Yes, that Kiva this and robots and the software side is definitely amazing. Their custom WS, but
Hmm.
their actual solution was QR codes and people and eliminating walk paths and manual, a lot of manual. So again, even like the solution seems very golden mean-ish. Like they were basically like, we're gonna set up this, text-driven solution, but we're also not gonna remove out. It's still gonna be a lot of people and basic stuff, and we're not gonna we're not reinventing
Slowly get
anything.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
we
had
didn't.
trouble
Yeah.
wrapping their minds around the simplicity of it. Right? Am I wrong? Like you tell me.
No, you're totally right about it, and first of all, it wasn't QR codes, it was
Or
barcodes
yes,
because we're
2D.
way
Yes,
before
yeah, yeah,
QR
yeah, yeah,
codes,
yeah.
right,
2D
yeah, I mean,
barcode. Yeah.
it could've been stone tablets, but no, and I think that's exactly what we're talking about here is that that's a
Yeah.
great I think Apple is also a great example of a company who used the golden mean, where they just kept chugging away in the middle, like, what
Yeah.
covers most of the
Very
bases?
directional though, right? Like
Very
very
directional. Yeah,
committed. Yeah. Like
yeah.
but these are again the smart people behind it. Like we're going all in on the idea of this. We're not going to spend all our money, and it's not going to kill the company if it loses.
If we lose
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
it. And
Right.
I think where you and I see companies breaking the golden mean, and I know you see it in your space, and I want to hear
Yeah.
about how you see it in warehousing and 3PLs.
Yep.
But I know in the startups that you and I have worked with in the past, a lot of times I have seen them go like, we're going all in on X.
Right.
And they're just like, invest, 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 invest.
AI is
It's
good.
not
Let's talk
paying.
about that for a second. Well, you bring up a good point. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, invest, 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 invest.
AI is one of these
It's not
things right
working,
now.
and then they're
Yeah.
like, "Whoo, we're gonna go in this other direction
Right.
because
People.
we're gonna run totally south
Well,
now
Kim,
because north wasn't working."
don't you think people get sucked? It's our natural tendency to get sucked into extremes. So even with
Yes.
AI and the advertising, it hits my LinkedIn feeds, and I'm like, you feel like an idiot if you're not all in on this new thing.
Right,
And
right.
and
All your money in crypto.
Barrett
Yeah.
does a great job. Our leadership team, we've been around for we're 81 years.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Middle, like we sell the middle.
Yeah.
Big enough, small enough. I mean, there's a couple great 3PLs that do this, but we stick with what we know, what we're good at. Doesn't mean we never bring in new tech, but
Yeah.
we're a golden mean 3PL, and maybe we don't even realize we're doing it.
Right.
I look around and see it, and
Right.
I think it resonates with experienced brands and Fortune 500 people who want the balance because
Yes.
they don't want no tech. And so
Right.
I just sorry to interrupt you. You brought up the comment, and I just had to throw out the AI thing. I'm curious what you think because it's like there's new companies begging you to go all in on whatever they're selling.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
So a couple of things. So I want to, you bring up Barrett, and you guys have been around for a long time in warehousing. So I think so in general, my philosophy on warehousing and logistics and fulfillment is shit in a box is shit in a box.
That's what
There's
a good
cold
GM might say, an order's an
Yeah,
order is an
there's
order.
cold
Yep.
shit in a box, and there might be toxic shit in a box, but
Or a
other than
polybag.
that, it's stuff in a box, right?
Could be a poly
Cheap
mailer.
shit, expensive shit, that's about
Yeah.
it. Like, so,
And then
but
you
the
know what it
base
looks like as soon as it gets into the sort systems at the parcel carriers, it's like
it's a
I've
box.
been on a truck, like it's but whatever.
Nobody cares. Yeah, and
If
everybody
people
is
saw the
so
sort facilities, they might never ship their stuff. You know what I mean?
Can
Anyway,
we just sidetrack on that for a minute? I worked with
sure.
a startup, and it was a steak startup. And I had many, 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 many rounds with the founder because he wanted white boxes. And I was like,
You're like, no, you just can't.
he's like, no.
And you buy from,
It's our
female
brand and
brands
it's
like the
high
bougie
end.
no.
Oh, and he wanted the clay, like the clay
Yeah,
soft
yeah,
finish on it. Like it's like just dirt runs to that.
right.
Right. And he would not listen. And
Oh,
so I was like,
really? Of
okay, look.
course.
So we did it. And of course, they were not white boxes by the time they arrived.
No, it is actually probably
Uh,
worse. It's,
it
it's
was
like
worse.
right.
Customers hated it. Like it actually brought brand value down because they're like, who wants this dirty ass box? Like,
Yeah, no, and and it's nobody's fault. It's just literally what happens when you transfer stuff from
when you
trucks.
transfer
Yeah,
something, yeah, it is not personally hand
right,
carried.
right.
Yeah, so people don't get that. It is interesting. But yeah, but back to our point
Okay.
is once it goes in the box, the only thing the carrier carries about is its weight, its dims, and its value. That's it. They don't actually care what it is.
No, it's not their model. They can't. It's just
They can't.
no.
Yeah. So back to the golden mean and
Yes.
talking about like
Yeah,
Amazon,
yeah. Or getting sold to, yeah.
and warehouses. So, I consult with a lot of people. I do a lot of keynoting about scaling your business and growing it. And there are, like you're saying, there's a lot of 3PLs out there. 3PLs are hot right now, especially Amazon has announced that they're going away with FBA prep, right?
That's what they say. Amazon just makes announcements and people, you see what happens. But I feeling like I kind of know them. Like there's always a really good reason why they think they should be doing something. I know that
They're-
much. Whether or not they
It
don't
takes
hit
up
it all
too much
the
time and
time.
space.
Yeah, right. Anyway, what were
Yeah.
you saying?
The amount of time and space that it takes to do that kind of prep is a lot.
Well,
And I don't think it's a money
Amazon's
maker.
they're leaving the people business.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
Amazon
what it
was
is.
never in the
I
people
mean,
business.
I don't know who's gonna watch
A
this, but
whole other conversation. Amazon was never in the people
no, but
business.
they're getting out
Never.
of it even more with with the union stuff and employee and labor costs. I mean, it's basically people sometimes are like say, I was talking to our CFO the other day and he made a comment about it was a good comment. Why might they be doing this or that? And then part of me was like, well, this is why people use a 3PL in general. Just
Yeah.
to get out of the people business and to say, hey, we want to run our company and we want to outsource supply chain and you guys can make your 8%. I mean, we're in a
Yeah.
low margin industry.
It's a
It's
low margin
it's
industry.
just low. It just is. And sometimes it can be more expensive, but you're saying like I can make more money on the back end by not having to deal with this and never having to
Right.
go into a warehouse.
Yeah.
Um,
But from Amazon's
yeah,
perspective, it's not their core competency, right? Their
right.
business is not prep.
No, and they're probably tired. It's expensive and nobody wants to pay for it. And they're just like, we don't need, well, they're in a
They don't
position,
need to.
we don't need it. We don't
That's what
need
I'm saying,
this.
it's not their core
We're
competency.
making $1 gazillion for
Yeah.
every two gigabytes of data on cloud on AWS.
You don't need to put stickers on shit anymore.
We don't want to talk about that today, but good Lord, what a game changer from Azure for Microsoft and
Oh,
Amazon,
yeah.
the cloud
Dude.
revenue. Oh
Yeah,
my
I know.
gosh.
It's crazy.
They're
Totally
like,
crazy. All
man,
right.
so
Back to what we're talking about. But you're talking about there's a lot of 3PLs out there. And everybody's jumping to the space, especially when Amazon just made this announcement. And there's a lot of companies out there that are trying to push these like really crazy fancy things on you, like we're talking about,
yeah.
right?
So how do you
Here's the
approach
thing.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What are the core things that need to be happening in fulfillment? You need to have inventory accuracy, right? Number one, you have to know what's in that warehouse, and you have to have high accuracy that it's there because you can't sell it if it's there.
Yeah,
You
wrong
need
inventory screws up. It's the most important thing at Barrett because it literally screws up everything downstream.
Everything downstream. So number one is good inventory tracking and accuracy. Your warehouse has to be over your 3PL has to provide that. And for me, the number two thing
Hey,
is
by the way,
fulfillment.
people talk about wanting transparency. That's great. But if it's also 100% accurate, nobody cares. Nobody's looking at it. I always laughed at that because, like we want it visible. I'm like, well, like we had
How
one.
often are you
I
looking
know,
at it?
I know. So
Yeah.
I know it's semantics, but since we're friends and we're being honest, I can just say, look, if it's accurate 100%, like nobody gives a crap about a
You
report.
don't need to look at it
No.
every
In
time. Do
fact,
you look at your bank account 500
no,
times a day?
well,
No.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, unless
yeah.
you're concerned about its
It depends if I'm
accuracy, and
dating or
then you
not.
are checking it.
Yeah. If I have a girlfriend, I'm probably looking at it more often.
Hey, well, see, that's an accuracy issue. That's an inventory control issue right there. There you go.
Our largest client and one of our best clients, the biggest compliment they gave us last year was that we don't even think about you guys anymore.
Oh, I love
Right?
that.
I know. When I heard that,
I
Tim
love that.
Barrett said it, mentioned it at a offsite, and as a marketing person, I was like, oh my gosh, Tim, I'm gonna grab him aside, pull him aside. I'm like, hey, how do we get that on every deck?
Yeah. We
We
need to
don't
like
really
that
even
should
think
be our
about you
logo.
guys.
They're so
Yeah.
good we forgot.
Yeah, but it's to the point of like the report that you mentioned the inventory accuracy. So continue on the path, but I was just thinking about that, how like if things are accurate and things are going well and orders are going out on time, like they
Yeah.
don't. That's what you're paying us to do.
Yeah. That's the
We
whole
can
point
still
of
be
it.
friends and play golf and have fun together, but like it's a beautiful. We don't need thank yous. We just need nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
Like
and that's a middle of the road thing. Like that is not you guys, we're not
100%.
selling like I don't like yeah, I don't need like it visually put on my screen on my car like any of that weird shit that people are trying to sell you now. People
Yes.
trying to get into the
Yeah.
retail business, right? Or the 3PL business or or analytics or we're going to put some AI on your inventory. I'm like, "You know what? I just need you to tell me where it is and how much I
Right.
have. I don't need you to AI that shit. I got it."
You're basically saying, I think what I'm hearing is you're agreeing that you're shooting for that mean, that gold, that
That
honey, that sweet
mean
spot, the Goldilocks of like a little bit of tech, a little bit of
a little
people.
bit of tag. But
Yeah,
what's the other thing to me is the fulfillment. So there's 2 things that 3PLs do well. You need to manage my inventory, and then how are they working on fulfillment? Are they reasonably priced? Can
yeah,
you do it within 24 hours? Do I have confidence that you're doing it? Did you
right.
do it accurately?
And it's not even
Talk
maybe
about
it's not
that.
even it's in the SL. Yeah, so even with the specific SLAs, it's not necessarily 24 hours. It's really what the client needs,
It's
and
true.
because we have some like I got to be honest, I'm older now, and like I grew up, my generation grew up with check the tracking number every 3 seconds, and when I talk to people in their 20s and young brand owners, when I buy something, it's either like Amazon or not, and it shows up within the week,
Yep.
there's there's a little flexibility. It's really, are you doing what you said you would do?
Yeah.
And so, because we have some companies that drop orders a day later because they want to do a bunch of edits, and so it's really 48-hour fulfillment. And they don't care, but they
Really
want to
good
know.
call.
Yeah, so it's like, just doing what you said you're gonna do is so
Right.
important. But that's a people thing. So
Yes.
that's so much more of a people thing than a tech thing.
Yeah.
And so
And
I
doing
just
what your client needs.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And
Yep.
yeah, and maintain a warm temperature. So
Yeah.
I've been leaning in. I think at first you might have the topic when we talked about it was like, okay, how do we relate this in the supply chain? But the more you think about it,
100%.
it literally it impacts every decision that we make or we try to
And we
make. We
look
try
at
to
this stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
And so we talk about a lot of 3PLs out there are trying to throw you a lot of tech. My
Or yeah,
favorite is this. My
I
favorite,
can't
this
wait for
one
those.
is, oh, you're going to love it when I say this one. My favorite is the companies that are out there that just have tech and then they're leasing all this warehouse space from all these other warehouse, the Leighton warehouse
I'm
model. You
specifically
remember?
thinking of a few companies. Are you
You knew
trying to
where I
get me
was,
in trouble today? Is that what
you
you?
knew where I was going with this. So
Don't say it. Just resist the urge.
I
There's a
am, and I'm
few
going to
of
say
them. They've already
it.
paid for their sins. They paid the tolls probably.
They did pay for their sins.
Yeah.
But, that was a situation where it was a heavy tech play, but the actual operations were notoriously shitty.
I know. I have friends that worked at these places, and I even told them like, you can't be in this business and not control the people. You just can't. It's a people
Yeah.
business.
I talked to them some of them are very early days too, because I was in Seattle.
I did.
And I
Oh,
kinda
now
had
we're
the
really
same
getting specific.
I don't want to rich, but I had the same thing. I was like, "What?" And
Well,
they
I
were
mean,
like, "Oh, yeah." And I'm
a
like,
4PL model also works in certain market environments, to be
It
fair.
was in
I
certain
just always thought
industries.
it wasn't it's gonna be hard to compete when you can't
Yeah.
control your staff.
Well, you can't control anything.
I know. I
I mean,
know.
what if the warehouse, like, gets more stuff and you boot it out? Like, I don't
No,
it
I know.
was just it was a lot of it was an
But so
interesting
again,
play.
but you get to the golden mean though, the companies making decisions to go in those directions they were over they were over investing in one lane and not coming.
That's
Yes, I love what you just did there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's what I was saying. Yeah. So, yeah,
Okay.
so they locked themselves into a certain thing. They were all a whole tech play trying to be
Right.
an operation. But we also have other companies that are doing just the opposite, right?
Yes,
That are
yes.
trying to,
And those tend to
like,
be startups or like if look, if today we started Kim and Brian fulfillment, we might be more like me and you are gonna be there 14 hours a day and
right.
grind through everything, and you know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's maybe not great for everybody, right?
But you have to be honest about it, right? So that's the other piece of it. So then there's these other 3PLs that are out there, and a lot of what I see are the 3PLs that are trying to transition from this traditional distribution and B2B model, trying to get into the
Yep,
B2C.
yep,
And they don't have tech, they don't have process,
right.
they don't have operations, they don't have what, but they have this big network, right? And they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, but we got 52 warehouses all over the United States and yada, yada,
Yeah, yeah,
yada,
yeah,
and this,
yeah,
that, and the
yeah.
other." And I'm like, "Look, unless you're shipping like, I don't know, 2.5 million packages a day, you don't need
Right.
52 warehouses."
No. You'd only need one node now. It's like everything's shrinking again. Like everything's
Yeah.
companies are constricting.
Yes, they're going
I'm
back.
educating now. I'm selling that. I'm going back and saying, look, you don't need two nodes.
Let's go
Lululemon
back to
has
one.
one or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
giant conglomerate. So don't chase extremes. Find
Yeah.
the
So
golden
back to this
mean.
golden
Yes,
mean.
like yeah. So think,
Yeah.
and even as it relates to 321 and de minimis ending, it's like the vultures are out right now. Slow down,
Yeah.
chill.
Okay, let's just touch on that a little bit
Yeah,
because you bring up a really good point. I know my podcast isn't about current events. You know that we all kind of talk
I
about that
know.
because the
Yes,
production
yeah, yeah,
cycle
yeah.
doesn't support it. But
Correct.
also, I haven't really wanted to fan the flames of this
No, I
craziness.
know. Yeah, I haven't either.
Do
I
you know
did
what I'm
one
saying?
video. I did a video of like, even if you don't come to Barrett, just don't do this. It was like
Right.
a PSA
Yeah.
of like, just chill out. If you didn't talk to anybody yet, like don't make the biggest decision of your company in 7
Right this
days.
minute.
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's I'm just gonna say it. It's pathetic. If you're not the brands, but companies who are advertising like and trying to take advantage of the situation, that's a red flag to me. So I'll just
I,
say that.
I
Is these are to
good.
my
And I'm glad you said
competitors or
that.
yeah, like we're not a get rich quick industry.
No.
So any 3PL that's marketing a message of like, "Oh my gosh, you're panicking and you should just come
Come
here
with
in a
us.
week,"
We
that
gotta
is
help
a red
you.
flag of
Right away.
slimy. I
Yeah,
just think it's
it
slimy.
is.
And so
To me, it
kudos,
is
yeah,
too. And
kudos
I've
to you for not
intentionally
wanting to talk about it then.
Yeah, and I've intentionally stayed away from it as well for myself because there's a lot of consultants that have come out of
I
there
know.
was a lot of supply chain consultants that came out of COVID anyway
Oh,
that
yeah.
really aren't qualified. But then out of this tariff stuff, there's so many and they're really taking advantage of people. So
100%,
I've just
and
stepped away from it and I
I
do
know.
strategy work anyway. I'm not here to talk about the next 3 months.
No, I'm glad you
Um,
said it though, because when I brought it up to talk about, you don't need to go into the details, but you just did, and it makes sense to me. And then, so and I haven't truly, this was my soft way of thinking, okay, we could touch on it, but not for to benefit Barrett or me or your
no,
podcast. It's more
no.
like I like companies to succeed. I really do.
Yeah.
And even if they don't choose us we already brought a couple brands over in advance of
Yeah.
321. The smart
Yeah.
ones did it. Some of them got
I'm
in
not
front
gonna
of it.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna capitalize on
No.
everyone's panic, right?
No, and
It just seems
that's a bad thing
exhausting.
for us, right?
It's bad for everybody.
Tim, have you been
It's
through
bad
bad onboards, right? Like you've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
the sales team that rushed something through, or again chasing an
No,
extreme.
totally. Or didn't really understand their need or were just
Right.
trying to, put a Band-Aid on it. And this is what I tell companies, and I've turned down a few clients or, potential clients who've come to me and been like, "Oh my god, we wanna bring you in and tell us what to do." I'm like, "Look, I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
tell you
yeah.
what to do in 5
I
minutes."
know. I remember you telling me that one time about
Like,
yeah, yeah.
"Yeah, here's my 3 things, here you go." But they're like, "No, no, no, we wanna hire you." I'm like, "Look, go call one of the big 3, the big 4, the big 5.
They'll take
They're
half a million and
waiting
tell you
for
to
you $500,000 for this. Go get it. I
You
don't
have a
want to do it,
conscience.
man.
This is why I love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a conscience. Yeah.
It's
But
not
yeah,
going to do anything.
I know. It's not good for the long. It's all short money and short
It's short
game,
money.
and it's not going to do anything for long-term success. And
Yeah.
yeah, you just don't want. Why do we do this? Why do we make bad situations worse? I've done it 1,000 times in my
And that's
life.
exactly what it would be. It would be making a bad decision worse because you're just making decision after decision. So, but that's where a lot of people are. But take it from some very seasoned veterans here, one older than the other, evidently.
No, probably not. Actually,
Supply
I'm an old chunk of
chain.
coal. Don't worry. I am an old chunk of coal. Still
Don't
available
panic.
though, if anyone's watching.
So far, you're my only guest who's turned this into their personal dating app. But
I
congratulations for
by the way,
multitasking.
Kim, we have to start. LinkedIn needs a dating app. It just has to happen.
Well,
I know.
come on.
That's the most cringe thing of all time. But yeah.
Oh Jesus,
This would be
it's
funny.
too bad. It's enough already. All right. Before we get any more off track, that is Bryan and I in Pack It Up, Pack It In, episode number 2. Everything about what's going on in warehouse, and we discussed the golden mean and how to apply that to warehousing and just about everything in general.
Thank you, Kim. It's always a pleasure.
All right, chat soon.
Yep.